where she says that she would listen to you talk about a breakup with a boyfriend. Is that part?
Fortunate enough, and I'm so grateful that my parents can afford that kind of experience for myself. It's not out of need.
I'll be considerate because we're in our 20s, which, by the way, age does not measure maturity, clearly.
Good morning, everyone. We're here for case number 7102, Sophia Alvarez versus Kyla Carpenter. Ladies, can you come to the podium, please? Miss Alvarez, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, Miss Carpenter, is it Kyla or Kayla?
Kayla.
Kayla, I am so sorry for mispronouncing your first name.
It's okay.
Miss Alvarez, it shows here that you are suing Miss Carpenter for the amount of $80,000 for emotional damages and financial compensation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she work for you or something?
She wishes.
No.
Oh, hold on.
No, Your Honor. Me and Kayla were roommates last year.
Roommates?
Yeah.
Okay, how long were you guys roommates?
Just 1 year.
Okay.
It didn't really work out. I'm just looking for financial and emotional compensation because it was just so hard living with her. She was just always so cold. She made the environment so hostile. I was always kind of like tiptoeing around her. And also, it was just not nice to live around. It was just a very hostile environment. And I also feel like there were a lot of financial disparities between the two of us.
Such as
Like rent. I mean, my parents are, a little more financially comfortable, so they would take like the bigger load at times. And also,
what do you mean a bigger load? I don't understand.
I would pay like a little more than half rent sometimes, and I would also take on utilities sometimes. When I was barely home, I'm involved in a lot of activities that, whereas she would always just be at home, using electricity, water, internet, all of those things. And
so while you're out doing your activities, she's home using the utilities in the residence.
Yeah, and I would usually take the weight of the utilities. I would usually pay for them more often. I would graciously just share my groceries with her, whereas she wouldn't bring in as many groceries as me. And it was just, I'm just looking for some compensation because I feel like it was a very just unfair situation.
I'm just curious, how much was the rent? Was this like a house, apartment, condo? What are we talking about?
It was a student residency.
Okay, and how much in rent per month was for this dwelling?
It was $1,600.
$1,600. So as far as the rent goes, I'm assuming it would be $800 for you, $800 for you. Am I correctly saying that?
Yeah.
And then whatever the utilities were, you guys would try to split that down the middle. The utilities, what did that consist of?
What was that?
The utilities, what did it consist of?
It was just water, electricity, internet, just the regular stuff.
Water, electricity, internet. Okay. All right. Miss Carpenter, you've heard what Miss Alvarez had to say. What is your take on this?
Your Honor, please. Right, okay. First things first. She says that I barely paid rent, I barely paid utilities.
She said, if I can remember correctly, that there were times where she had to pay more to cover the rent.
Right, yeah, that's not true. Because the thing about it is the fact that I'm working 2 jobs while also doing things I'm on a scholarship, full ride.
Okay.
I worked hard for that, okay? And she's saying that I didn't pay rent or she had to take on most of the load. That's not true. And also saying that I'm always home. First of all, I'm paying rent here. I can be at home as much as I want to, right? If I'm paying rent. So there's that. Also, she would never be home because she would always be partying with her exes and doing drugs. And so with that, and me not getting groceries, that's not true. I would be the one paying most of the groceries with my check. And then she's also saying how I was cold. First of all, correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I'm wrong. I'm not in law, right? If I'm a roommate, my job is to pay my part of rent and my part of the utilities. If you want emotional support, get a therapist. That's your business. Get a diary. That's not my responsibility. I owe you no type of emotional stability, which, by the way, I did. Because when she was bringing her boyfriends over and making all types of noises, when she brought people over and making all types of commotion, making all types of mess, I still was there cleaning up. I'm not a maid, but I still did it. I cleaned up when her boyfriends were cheating on her and breaking her heart. I am the one who stood up till 2 a.m., even if I had class in the morning, to go and help her out while she was crying on my shoulder. So you want to sit here, you can lie in front of a judge, that's fine.
But under U.S.
And
contract
also,
law,
Do I even have to explain to you how mean she is and how hard it is to live with?
She's lying.
Like,
Well,
I think,
hold on,
She's
I
lying
think,
on me.
Ladies,
Judge,
That's
I think
fine.
she
Let me
made
ask
my
you-
case.
let me
I
ask
think
this
my
one.
case is
Explain.
done.
Alvarez, hold on. Let me
Viewers will
ask this one
instantly realize
question.
this case is heading
Let me ask this
downhill.
one question, and it's a personal question, but it's going to give me some insight into what's going on. The part where she says that she would listen to you talk about a breakup with a boyfriend, is that part true?
That is true.
That's very true.
Your Honor, we
So
live
as
together.
a roommate, you would expect if you're going through something that she would be at the shoulder to cry on, to say, hey, I'm going through something. I need you to, can you please listen to me? You would think that would be fair, correct?
As people who live together, sure, you might expect to share a conversation with somebody.
Especially if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. 'Cause
I would-
a lot of breakups happening early in the morning, late at night, and she's there, correct?
Your Honor, we are in our 20s. Like, we're awake, we're doing things. It's not
Right.
like one day she would come and tell me, oh, I had such a hard exam today. And I'll be like, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear about it. No, I would listen to her and be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't talk
I'm
to
sure you'll
her.
do better next time.
Let
I
me
don't
ask you
talk-
this. Did she ever come to you and say, hey, I'm having a hard day. Can we talk? Did she ever do that?
Considerably less. But at the end of the day, we're both people. We both talk. I mean, imagine a household where you just don't talk.
Judge,
Of course, she said
may I
some things
interject,
to me
please?
sometimes.
Can I interject for 2 seconds? Give me-
Interject,
give me
please.
Give me about 2 seconds, please. Judge Porter, listen, right? She's over here talking about, first of all, I don't talk to her.
That's
I
apparent.
like to stay in my room, respectfully. I'll stay in my room. Before I live with my parents, right? I have siblings, all right? I like having my own space. I have no issue having a conversation. How's your day going? My day's good, my day's bad. I've never been like cold. I've been very attentive to her. But when it comes to you talking about the same guy 15 times, how he's cheating on you, how he's not treating you right, how he did this, how he did X, Y, and Z, it gets tiring. But all right, I'll be considerate because we're in our 20s, which, by the way, age does not measure maturity, clearly. But either way, right? I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, your problems are your own. If you want to take your life in a certain direction, don't bring me into it. And then you want to sue me for it. How much is she suing me again for?
The amount is $80,000 for emotional damages and
Right.
financial compensation.
I'm going to tell you why that's ironic. It's ironic because that's how much credit card debt she's in. And she's talking about her family is better well off and taking
Well, you
all
know
that.
what? It's funny that you brought that up because I was going to ask this question. Ms. Alvarez, I'm assuming this location is just off campus. I'm assuming, correct?
Yes.
It's just off campus. And I'm assuming you both attend the same university, correct?
Yeah.
Ms. Alvarez, if your parents are, I forgot how you put it, but if they have money, somewhat more or less, why do you find the need to live off into your own dwelling, not stay home? I mean, because the way I'm looking at it is you had to have a roommate to have a lifestyle away from your parents. Am I correct in saying that?
Your Honor,
Because it sounded like, if I'm not mistaken, at one point you did say earlier that your parents help you pay rent. Did I hear that correctly, or did I
Yeah.
miss?
yeah.
The judge
Okay,
shift focus
but you still had to go to your
from
parents for
feelings
help,
to fact.
and You
In
couldn't live at
US
this place
civil
by
law,
yourself because obviously
emotional
you had to get a
damages
roommate.
require
Your Honor,
legal duty.
To be
and
honest,
Yes.
solid proof,
it's the
not
college
disappointment
experience.
between
You
It's
roommates.
go, you live with
Was this
roommates.
lawsuit
And then
built on
if obviously
emotions
I am
instead of
fortunate
evidence?
enough and I'm so
Expect
fortunate enough and I'm
viewers
so
to
grateful
side with the
that
judge.
my parents can afford that kind of experience for myself.
Okay.
It's not out of need. And I do not have $80,000 of credit card debt.
Is doing cocaine also a part of the college experience?
Ma'am.
My bad.
Ma'am?
That's me. That's on me. That's my bad.
At this point, she's just making things up.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no, no.
And I feel like honestly, it's
Let's
a lot
say
of
that she is making things up. Let's say that she is making things up. Here's where I'm lost at. You file for emotional damage. You testified in this courtroom that if you live together, that you should be able to communicate and not communicate in relation to the rent or the utilities, the obligations for that. You said that something along the lines that you should be able to talk to each other. And one of the things that you would talk about was your relationships. And you said that you would do the same for her. And now you're saying that the college experience. Ma'am, that is not the college experience. The college experience is going to class.
A thing she doesn't do. Sorry.
The thing is going to class, passing your classes, getting your degree, and moving on.
and making friends.
That is the that
and
is
the
not,
life experience.
If you make friends, that's great, but don't get it twisted.
I'm a straight A student.
You are not there to make friends. You are there to get an education. That is first and foremost.
I am.
Nothing else goes above that. If you end up with a roommate who doesn't want to talk to you, because it doesn't sound like you guys were talking to each other. It sounds like you guys were talking at each other. And it sounds like you were doing more talking and hoping that she would do more listening, not because of the rent or the utilities, but just conversations about life. She's not obligated to do that for you. Her only obligation is to pay rent and pay whatever utilities you guys agreed upon. That is it. Okay. Now, I'm not understanding where you feel that you need to be financially compensated. Okay. I'm at a loss there.
It was an entire year of emotional distress. I don't even have to prove that to you. You've seen how
What emotional
mean
distress
and
are you
offensive.
talking about, ma'am?
Are you not seeing how mean and offensive she is? Everything that comes out of her mouth is with the intention of hurting.
No,
I lived
everything
with that for a
everything that's
year.
come out of her mouth has a hardness to it. Yes, I agree with you, but it's not emotional. It's look, this is what's going on.
Your Honor.
This is how it affects me.
Anger is an emotion.
Okay, excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
May I please? Sorry to interject, but I'm gonna say this. The thing is, I normally don't speak like this. Okay, I'm actually a very civil person. I was raised like that. The reason why I'm like this is because I'm sure you would be too at your wit's end when the same problem is coming over and over and over and over again. That's the only issue. That's the only reason why I'm sarcastic to her, because the only way she would leave me alone. And it's not intention to
Hold on
hurt
for
her.
a second. Let me ask you a question, Miss Alvarez. Are you suing her because she's not a nice person?
I am a nice person. She's annoying.
Hold on. Are you suing her because she's not a nice person?
I am suing her because I lived in a hostile environment for an
Hostile?
entire
You did
year.
not answer my
Stop.
question. Are you suing her because in your belief, she is not a nice person to you?
No, because I can handle people who are nice to me.
You're saying that she is a nice person to you.
No, she's not. But that's just not the reason why I'm suing her. I am suing her because I was in a living situation that was hostile.
How was it
Spell
hostile, ma'am?
What do you mean? What do you mean, how is it hostile? I literally have just been accused of doing cocaine
Okay.
in court.
Because you did.
Hold on, Miss Carpenter.
She just called me immature,
I
She's
did.
called you immature.
a drug user.
She's
Yeah.
called you a drug user.
Sure
She
enough.
said that you have bad credit. She says that you
Sure
don't
enough.
know how to keep a man. She has said all those things at their podium.
Because they're true.
But my question to you is, how is that a hostile environment?
It made- she made it hostile.
Miss Carpenter,
I am so sorry. She was speaking the entire
I
time.
have
the
never
plaintiff
offended
mistake
her
personal
once. I have never been
conflict for-
disrespectful.
Okay, you're not in a position to say if
This
you've offended her or
courtroom
not,
moment
because you're
will
not in her
leave
head.
viewers
But you appear to be offended by the things that she said and the thing that she's done, correct? But you haven't explained to this court how is it hostile towards you. It sounds to me that your feelings are hurt because she's not nicer to you. That's what it sounds like.
You yourself have shut her down multiple times in the
That's
time we've
because
been
she's
here.
speaking out of turn.
My
That
bad.
happens quite often in this courtroom.
I think you see how mean she is.
I don't. I see her spitting hard truth and facts towards you and other things. But the one thing I don't see is a problem with the rent and a problem with the utilities. That is what I don't see. What I do see is that you feel that your feelings are being hurt by some of the things that she said. And you want her to be nicer to you.
That would be
is
a
not-
nice start.
But here's the thing. That is not the requirement of the rental agreement you guys made. I pay $800, you pay $800, whatever the utilities are, we split it, and that's it. There is nothing else that needs to be expected. You're not married to this woman.
I would never.
She's not your bestie. She's your roommate. This is a business agreement. And you want more than what it is. That's not her responsibility, ma'am. If you want that, date somebody.
But she can't. My bad.
She just keeps going. She just keeps
It's the
going.
truth.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't help you with this. And I'm going to give you a life lesson. Your financial responsibility, whatever agreement you make, you satisfy that. If you become a businesswoman or whatever, and you're in business with somebody, it's about business. If you want to develop a friendship, it is what it is. That's something totally different. Don't ever get the two confused. Friendship does not equate to business, having a business partner. There are two separate things. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to throw this case out. All right? Case is dismissed. Ladies, have a nice day.
I think Judge Porter saw how mean she was. I actually think everyone in the room
The lawsuit
saw how
ends
mean
with
she
a complete
was.
dismissal because
I guess
the
that's just a
plaintiff
lesson for
failed
me
prove
to find a
legal
better
basis
roommate in the
for
future,
damages.
somebody that I'm more
In
compatible
US
with,
civil
someone
courts,
kinder,
evidence, not
someone that
emotions,
communicates a little
wins
better
cases.
and can pay her
Was
dues a little
this
better.
the most unrealistic
And hopefully she can be kinder in the
$80,000
future too.
lawsuit
Maybe
you've
she
ever
could use a
seen?
boyfriend as well.
Viewers
or some
will be
partying,
debating
but
this verdict
thank
in
you,
the
Judge Porter,
comments.
nevertheless.
I'm very happy with the verdict today. I'm not surprised that I won. She made absolutely no counteract to anything I said. And you know something, maybe from this she could take a life lesson to do better, because she's clearly not. Thank you. Thanks, Judge Porter. Appreciate it.